Alright, so tonight's conversation is extremely important. It is currently, I think, 3 minutes before midnight, so December 6th, heading on to December 7th. This video will definitely go into December 7th of 2017. And what I'm going to be speaking about is some of the situations that, or one situation that sometimes homeless people can find themselves in, and like start off thinking that it's going to be great and going to help them, and then unfortunately have to learn along the way that this like was just kind of like fake, and that nothing was good ever going to come out of it, and it's a really tough situation to be in. So I'm gonna back up 4 months ago. I got kicked out of a homeless shelter for going to the emergency room. At which point my DMH worker told me there was this great group home for boys between the ages of 18 to 26. And I was kind of interested. I was nervous, but like I was interested. And I started asking about it and trying to gather my information. And I was talking to other people trying to see if it was worth doing it or not. And when it came down to it, I was like, oh yeah, like, okay, this seems like it might be worth a shot. Try it out. So, another month. It's now September 7th, and I'm officially moved in. Don't know how it's gonna be. I just literally had just moved in. And 2 weeks later, I discovered that the house had already been out of food, and there was going to be no food for the remainder of the time. They would be attempting to take all of my food stamps, which I guess kind of lucky for me. I wouldn't really consider it lucky. No one would even help me renew my food stamps, so I completely lost them. And now have literally been eating nothing. I eat one meal a day on a van that sometimes has food for homeless youth. So I'm literally just starving to death here. They'd be stealing my money. They'd be stealing my mail. They'd have me sign a lease saying that, basically that I'm safe here, and that I have X amount of rights, or X kind of rights that you would have if you were living in a normal apartment and like actually renting the apartment instead of just a room. But like I am renting a room, so therefore I am legally, I have my own place, I'm on a lease, and they have to still follow certain laws. So within my lease, I did make sure to actually read it. I know not many people do, but I did actually read it. It says that they are not allowed to come and enter my room unless, first of all, I am here, and second of all, I have to give them permission to enter my room, and thirdly, they're only allowed to enter our rooms if they believe that we are a danger to ourselves or someone else, but we still have to be here. And they can't just like barge in on us either. So like, well, they come into my room probably every day. I don't really know because like I'm never here because I'm constantly at work. But let's just like explain, like when I get a letter from the director who thinks he's like good at what he does, saying that I need to clean my messy room before Monday or they're coming in here and cleaning it themselves, that's a problem, because legally you are not allowed to enter my room. You are not allowed to touch my belongings on top of that. And you're demanding that I clean a room that's not even messy. Like, I have bins stacked up against my wall because I have no storage, and nobody's willing to help me move my belongings to a storage unit. But even if they were willing to help me move my things to a storage unit, I'd have to move everything. Because I can't be in here with them stealing my money and paying for a storage unit at the same time. It doesn't work that way. Now, they're also verbally abusive. They aren't supposed to leave any sharp knives around. And they'll leave them out, just like hanging around. They literally will just find every reason to be abusive and be abusive. So this has been going on now for 3 months. After I had been here for 2 weeks, I started telling my providers, I don't like it here. I need to get out. Like it was important at that point. And like nobody understood. And it was like hard to explain at the time, like what was really going on, because I had only been there for a short period of time. So like everyone just kind of believed, oh, well, like you just need to give it time. Things will calm down. But as time continued, things started getting worse. Now they wake me up as soon as I fall asleep. They wake me up several times within the night, and they wake me up at least an hour before my alarm goes off. So I'm exhausted, and I'm getting maybe 2 hours of sleep, and it's not okay. Like, absolutely not okay. So, like, I'm just tired all the time. I'm starving to death. I don't receive my mail that I'm supposed to be receiving, and they enter my room constantly. And I'm just kind of, like, sick and tired of it, and I don't know what to do anymore about this. But I started, like, telling my providers what exactly is happening here and why it is so important for them to get me out. And nobody listened to me. A few weeks before Thanksgiving, I told, I think, almost all of my providers that, like, things were just too much and that I didn't want anybody getting involved. Actually, that was a few weeks, not just a week before Thanksgiving. It was a good amount of time, at least, like, 3 weeks beforehand. I told them, don't get involved. Like, it's just going to make the situation worse. My manager at work called my group home, got involved when I told him not to, and made the situation worse. So, like, yeah, I'm, like, really angry about that. But then, so, like, now it's about, like, a week before Thanksgiving, and I told almost all of my providers, except for my manager at work, except for anybody at work, that if they didn't get me out of here, I would kill myself. And I'm not lying. Like, I wasn't lying to them. Like, I was straight up and honest with them, and nobody took me serious. The most serious everybody took me was, oh, I think it'd be a good idea for you to be in a hospital. Bullshit, because you're going to send me into a hospital, they're going to up my meds, and I'm just going to be sent right back to the group home and be still suicidal. So, like, there was no point in any of it, and I wasn't going to have it. I wasn't going to go and get better just to stay the same. So I started refusing, which legally I can, because I never said that I was going to do it at this day, this time, in this method. I never gave them that kind of information. I just said, if you don't get me out of here, this is going to happen. So Thanksgiving Day, I had been, like, getting ready to head out to church, and one of the staff members stopped me at the door, asked where I was going, which technically they're not allowed to ask where I'm going, and when I responded, oh, I'm going to church, he gave me an attitude because I was going to church on Thanksgiving. I'm sorry, but, like, I think the fact that I'm going to my church, you shouldn't be asking it, like, or giving me a hard time about, first of all. And second of all, the fact that I have something to do on a holiday that I hate, like, give me props for that, because, like, just leave me alone. Like, they knew me moving in here that I hate holidays. Every single last one of them. And now they're giving me a hard time for having found something to do. Alright. Um, so I came back from church. It was probably about 3 or 4 o'clock when I got back to group home. I think 3 o'clock. And I opened my door, and I barely walk in, and I noticed that a staff member stole my mail yet again, came into my room, and put it on my bed. This is a problem because, first of all, you're not supposed to be taking my mail without my permission. I never signed anything to allow them to. And then you're not allowed in my room unless you believe I'm a danger to myself or someone else. And I am there and give you permission to enter my room. So, problem. Well, that was what did it for me. And without thinking, without just complete emotion, 100% yeah, unfortunately, I tried to kill myself. And I'm saying this now that I tried to kill myself because it's been too long for anyone to do anything. And then when I was not successful and I wasn't able to I wasn't successful. It was a completely failed attempt. I texted my friend and told him that I needed to go hang out. So I did a responsible thing and went and hung out with someone. And then things just continually got worse. I got sent to a partial hospitalization program so that they could lock me up into a hospital. Which the program isn't going to do because they also don't think it's going to be helpful, but the doctor isn't even doing anything to get me out of here. My social worker isn't doing anything to get me out of here. They know exactly what's happening and they're still refusing, and that's really upsetting me too. My life coach decided that she wants to have a meeting with all of my providers and a group home staff, and I said no several times. When she found out I tried to kill myself, she said this is going to happen and this has to happen now, and set up a time and date. I don't want it. It is my right to refuse, and I feel like nobody is listening to anything that I want or need. And at this point, it's not okay to continue to ignore everything that I'm saying. Because, actually, only a few days ago, I, again, tried to end up killing myself. But still, it's too long for anyone to do something again. Yeah. Things aren't easy. And legally I am still homeless. I haven't been here for 6 months or longer. And by technicality, the program that I am in, unless you still have another address, so or if you're bound to this program, you're legally still homeless, and you're able to use all the services assisted to homeless people. So the government and the state will allow me to use these other services. The group home will not, which is part of the problem. So today I've just kind of been done with everything. And I can't handle it anymore. I'm absolutely livid. I got a letter from the director of the program. He's not even the director, he just pretends to be the boss. Stating that he's discovered that my room is a mess and that I need to clean it before Monday morning. And if I do not, when they come in and check my room Monday morning, check my room. You're telling me you're gonna fucking come into my room when you don't have permission and legally can't enter my room. His staff are gonna come in here and clean it. You first of all can't touch my stuff. without me. You can't even touch my stuff, like, never mind, like, without me. Like, with me, you can't do it at all, period. You can't come into my room, and you're telling me you're gonna do all this stuff. I've seen them do it to my friends who live here. They have literally thrown out important things. So, yes, I am suicidal. I have been suicidal, but you putting me into a hospital isn't going to fix anything. You putting me into a fucking hospital is only going to make the situation worse. So you listen to me, and you listen to me now. If you want to fix anything, you will find people like me, and you will get them into a safe haven. I am done, I am through, and I am not dealing with this crap anymore. So, I'm gonna read you the text that the text messages that I sent to my therapist just after this all went down. Alright. I'm done with everyone's bullshit. My providers either need to get it the fuck right immediately or say goodbye, because I'm not sticking around providers that are going to force me to stay in a highly abusive group home. You and another counselor that I see are the only two not forcing me to stay, but also are actually not doing anything to help me get out. Telling me you will support me no matter what I decide doesn't help when I have no physical way to get out by myself. So either my providers figure out how the fuck to get me out of here by Saturday, that's 3 days away. I think that's plenty of time to get me out of here. Or I'm done with everyone. Because I should not be required to feel suicidal 110% of the time. I should not be required to commit suicide to get out of abuse. It is my providers' jobs to assist me when I am not able to do so on my own. And currently, no one is helping. Just duck sitting and forcing the abuse on me. If my team cannot, more like will not, figure out how to get me out and into safety, I will drop everyone and I will get a lawyer. I should not, under any circumstances, be put through all the crap that everyone has pushed on me, and I will not tolerate it anymore. So, I'm done. I'm done sitting in an abusive group home. I'm done with everyone's bullcrap trying to act like they're the saviors because they're forcing me into an abusive situation. If you want me to die, send me back to my father's, or my brother will kill me in a minute. I am done. If you don't want to pay for that ticket because you don't want to be sued or like be responsible for my death, then get me the fuck out of here. Because either way, you will be responsible. And this message is literally going out to everyone. Because it is not okay, and people need to know the truth now. Because as soon as I get out of here, I am going to report this place. I am going to report the entire program and every group home in it. Because I'm not sitting around any longer. Because the fact that I need to cry every day, the fact that I feel unsafe within myself every day, the fact that I have nobody to trust anymore is a problem. And the fact that I am here is because I am homeless. The fact that I'm going through this abuse is because I am homeless and I am done with it. So if you have a problem and you don't like what I've said, maybe you should rethink the way that you do treat people who are homeless. Maybe you should rethink the way that you treat people who also have mental illnesses. Because none of this is okay. All of this is wrong. And you're all doing it to us. So don't sit around and be like, oh, well, I'm not doing it to you. Because you are by doing nothing. Unless you physically pull someone out of an abusive situation and get them into safety. Unless you physically pull them out of a group home that is trying to hurt them, you are hurting us. You are showing us you don't care about us and you think we are worthless. And if you haven't figured it out, by leaving someone who has been in an abusive situation has learned that they are worthless. And it's not easy to leave abuse on your own. And that is exactly what I'm experiencing and going through at this group home. And if you think that I have no right to be angry and that I should calm down while talking to you, forget it. So get out and, like, just go away and, like, who am I kidding? What's the point of even filming this? What's the point of posting this? Because first of all, probably nobody's going to see it. And those of you that do see it are probably going to report me and try and get me sectioned. But I've got news for you. If you think I'm going anywhere, it's just into a grave. And it's not because I'm killing myself. It's because you've killed me.